Yeah. Okay. So beliefs, and I've got in here social and cultural beliefs. So I'm just going to ask, who grew up in Toronto? Okay, who grew up in Bracebridge? Another country, anybody? Ah, another country, right on.
Another town.
Another town, okay. So just one simple factor of growing up in a Bracebridge public school versus a Toronto public school versus one in another country. Okay, so could be Europe, could be China, could be Japan. Very different social experience. Okay, so what our brain does, and this is, you're not involved here. Okay, the brain is picking up these social beliefs. Can anyone guess why we need social and cultural beliefs? Why is it useful?
Survival.
Survival?
To fit in.
To fit in, that's right. We need a community, we need to belong. Because for 150,000 years, if we were alone out in the bush, it meant death. So the last 2,000 years, you know, less and less, some people can be alone. However, if we go against the crowd, or we're shunned, or fired, or not part of the team, it throws us into a huge anxiety because our limbic brain is going, ding, 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 we're alone, we're going to die. Okay? 150,000 years of wiring. So social beliefs. And there's a nice, neat little word inside a belief. What is it?
Lie.
Lie. Okay? So, and I like that little word. So a social belief doesn't mean it's bad. Okay? However, if it's not working for you and it's not authentic, then it's a problem. Okay? So it's not bad to want to belong. However, if it's stopping us or hurting us, it's a problem. Same as a cultural belief. What could be a cultural belief? You have a cheat sheet. If
Men are smarter than women.
Cultural belief.
Men are more important than women.
Right. Guys don't cry. We can pick on guys.
That's right.
Any
Big
other
boys
cultural
don't
beliefs?
cry.
We don't. We just play hockey.
And then,
And we're allowed to
oh,
cry. We're allowed to cry.
and then we cry. And then we cry.
Working overtime is to be admired.
Working overtime is to be
Taking
admired.
work home.
Money means happiness.
Money means happiness. You have to work hard for a living. That's not even true. Okay? However, it's something it's a belief system that we have. What about Canadians? What's the reputation we have around the world?
We're polite.
I know.
Stand in line.
That's right.
We're so
Stand in
sweet
line.
Say
and kind. Hmm?
We all say A.
Yeah.
Hey, yes. So it's not even true. So you can have some fun with this. However, what happens is, now people are starting to talk about social embeddedness. There's books on placebo effect. You probably talk about that too, is that we start believing the beliefs and we think they're true. And of course it goes against who we are authentically, so that creates anxiety. And Eckhart Tolle talks about it in his book, I believe, The New Planet Earth. He calls it the pain body. So we collect these pains, these belief systems that aren't even true, and then we're just like, and we get in our heads, okay, and we think that we have to be a certain way, and that's not true. Okay, so here's some, you know what, I thought, okay, I'm going to collect a few, because sometimes it's hard to think of. This took less than 5 minutes to come up with. I could have kept going. And so, don't be too happy in case something bad happens. You wait for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, toughen up. Good things don't come easy. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Right? I mean, anyways, there's lots there. Any questions about culture or social beliefs? Any questions about it? If you find yourself saying, you know what, I should really go to that party. Should is a good word that listen to that. And you probably heard this, but don't should on yourself. Remember that, because it's a thing, if we feel obliged or we should, stop yourself. You still may go to that party, that's okay. You may make that decision, but think about it. Maybe I don't really want to go. You know, and then we wonder, if we keep going at this belief, then we think, oh, now I have social anxiety. But I don't know why. You know. So does it make sense? Makes sense, okay. All right. Another one of cultural beliefs is, there's a funny little story to that too. So there was a mom, she was making a ham dinner, and she cut off the bone and put it in the baking pan, and the little girl said, "Mom, why are you doing that?" Have you heard the story?
No.
Yeah? No. Okay, if I wreck it, don't, it's okay. So she said, the mom said, "You know what, I don't know, but when Granny comes over," it was Easter dinner, and she said, "When Granny comes over, I'll ask her." So Granny came over, it was dinner time, and you know, the woman said to her mother, she said, "Mom, how come you always cut the bone? You know, why do we do that? Because I saw you do that, and now I do it, and you know, my daughters asked me," and she said, "I don't know. My mom always did it." So great granny was still alive. So they went and visited her later in the day, and they asked her, and they said, "Granny, why did you cut off the bone in the ham? Like, why did you do that?" She said, "Because the oven was so small and it didn't fit."
Oh.
Did I get it close? Okay. So the point is, and that's just a little story. I mean, there's so many things that we do generation after generation, and we don't have a reason anymore. So it's good to unpack some of the beliefs and some of these things that we do, either as a culture or as a society, and be more authentic and really check in. And that's what we'll talk a little bit about, those resources after. Okay, self-doubt fuels anxiety. And, you know, focusing on releasing self-doubt, easier said than done. And someone just gave me another one, which isn't on your sheet, and you may want to write it down, is perfectionism. A big setup for anxiety. Yes?
Do you have an extra sheet of that?
Oh, yeah, you got lots.
No, neither chair has the sheet that's the one you're reading from right now.
Do you that
Yeah.
one?
Oh, I got that one, just not the second one.
The belief systems,
Yeah.
it's floating, there's some extras at the back.
Here they are.
They'll come forward, yeah. So perfectionism is a setup. Self-doubt, this yes, no. And I don't have those handouts, that's all, that could be another handout, is, you know, making decisions. And one of the resources that I want to show you tonight is to help you come back to your body. So that will help with self-doubt and some decision making. Another one, this is really interesting, and so having the character trait of being highly sensitive. Who's heard of the character trait,
Oh, God,
highly
yeah.
sensitive?
You're so sensitive.
Okay, it's a character trait. We don't talk about it. If anybody wants any information on that, email me. What one of my parents did, she was really good, she put together a whole resource list on the internet and wrote out stuff from highly sensitive. So she has that now, and she brings it to the teachers for her son. She discovered, well, through me, that she was highly sensitive, so was her son. We got some strategies in place, and things calmed down. So if you want any of that, email Nick or me, and we'll get that information to you. And again, it's all online, so you can do a little self-study, and it's really, really interesting. And you can take care of it. So when I didn't know I was highly sensitive, I've been sensitive all my life. Then I tried in my 20s not to be sensitive. I think I didn't cry for 5 years. And then I went, you know what, that's not really right either. So I didn't know there was a character trait of that. And when I learned about it, what a relief that was. And then I learned how to take care of it. So that resource does have some suggestions about that. So being highly sensitive as a character trait does set us up a little bit. We're more vulnerable to anxiety. We're more vulnerable to feeling overwhelmed. Okay? We're also more vulnerable to trauma. Okay? Though again, by practice, doing grounding and strategies, daily practice really helps. And you know what? Today I can say I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm sure Dr. Nick is highly sensitive, he wouldn't be able to do the work that he does if he isn't. And that's the same with me. So I take care of the highly sensitive part so that I don't get crushed when I go to the grocery store or drive down the street. However, when I walk around my garden, my heart sings, and that's the part I wouldn't trade for. Or seeing the dewdrops on a spider's web, where, sometimes that can get missed. So I wouldn't trade it, so I take care of it. Okay? Now, the last one, or the last two, again, if you've done all these things and you've looked after yourself, and you find you're still in an anxious mode, it's possible that you have some trauma. So it's possible, okay? And that's another reason why I made this list, because sometimes if we feel we're not looking after ourselves, we could get into a place where we're having severe panic attacks, going to the hospital. However, the anxiety is built up. Okay, it may not be trauma related. So it's something that we can work at and we can fix with practice and with habits. If you're finding that you're tripping up and you can't, that's the time you can go for therapy and get some help. And there's, I say, many roads to Rome. So there's many ways to support yourself. So memories, sounds, triggers, things like that can cause anxiety and, of course, trauma. So as always, know your limits. Constantly build skills and strategies. Okay?
Would the trauma necessarily be known